Heartland has always been a place of healing and hope, but as season 19 begins, nothing will ever be the same. This year, the land, the people, and the family we've come to love will face challenges that will change everything. Secrets will be uncovered, bonds will be tested, and decisions will be made that can never be undone. As the seasons shift, so too does everything at Heartland. This is the season where everything will change, and it's all starting now. It's early morning at Heartland Ranch. The sun has barely kissed the earth, but already the place is buzzing with activity. Amy is standing in the barn, brushing one of the horses, her face worn with the weight of 1,000 unspoken thoughts. The familiar comfort of the barn isn't enough to hide the growing tension that's been hanging in the air for weeks. The ranch is struggling, financially, emotionally, and physically, and as much as she loves Heartland, she knows something has to change. The question is, will the change come from within, or will it be forced upon them? Amy's always been the one to keep things together, whether it's caring for the horses, guiding the people around her, or managing the family business. But this time, it feels like the storm brewing in the distance is too powerful to control. The bills are piling up, the ranch's future is uncertain, and no matter how hard she tries to keep up, the cracks are starting to show. As Amy looks out across the land, she wonders how much longer she can hold on. The future of Heartland, once so clear, now feels blurry, and it's breaking her heart. Meanwhile, Lou, always the optimistic one, is facing her own set of struggles. She's standing in her office, sorting through paperwork, trying to balance family and her role as mayor. But as much as she's accomplished, she can't shake the feeling that something is missing. There's a void she can't fill. Her career has grown, but at what cost? She's distanced herself from her family, from her roots. Her identity, once tied to Heartland, is now in question. Is this where she belongs, or has her path led her somewhere else entirely? Across the ranch, Jack sits on the porch, staring out at the land that's been his life for so many years. His weathered face tells the story of a man who's seen it all, the highs, the lows, the victories, and the losses. But even Jack is beginning to feel the weight of time. The world is changing, and it's hard to deny that Heartland isn't the same place it once was. His health is starting to fail, and though he doesn't like to admit it, the signs are there. The land, the ranch, and his family, all of it needs him more than ever. But can he keep up? Will he be able to hold on long enough to see Heartland through the changes to come? Amy, Lou, and Jack are standing at the edge of something bigger than themselves. They've always found strength in each other, in their shared history, but now, that bond is being tested in ways they could never have imagined. Each of them faces a crossroads, a decision that will define the future of Heartland. As the sun rises higher, casting long shadows over the land, they each wonder, can they navigate the storm that's coming, or will they be swept away in the change that's already in motion? The wind picks up across the ranch, carrying with it the promise of change. It sweeps through the tall grass, rustling the leaves of the trees that have stood firm for generations. But even the trees seem to bow to the pressure of what's to come. Amy stands at the edge of the property, looking out across the land, her hands clenched tightly around the reins of her horse. Her mind races with the mounting pressure to save Heartland. Every day brings a new challenge, and each one feels heavier than the last. The ranch is her heart, her home, and yet for the first time she feels as if it's slipping away from her. It's not just the ranch that's causing Amy sleepless nights. It's the growing distance between herself and the people she loves. Ty, her partner, has been gone for months, and though she knows his absence is for a good cause, the loneliness is starting to consume her. The deep connection they've always shared seems to be fading, leaving her feeling more isolated than ever before. There's a part of Amy that wonders if she's doing this alone now. The weight of Heartland is too much for one person, and every decision she makes feels like it's pulling her in a million directions. She wonders if her choices are what's keeping the ranch alive, or if they're slowly suffocating it. At the same time, Lou's own battle is becoming impossible to ignore. She's standing in the kitchen, the smell of freshly brewed coffee filling the air, but the warmth of it doesn't reach her heart. She's been spending more time in the mayor's office than she has at Heartland, and it's starting to take its toll. Lou has always been the ambitious one, the one who had dreams of making a difference beyond the ranch. But now her political career feels like it's come at the cost of her family. Her kids are growing up fast, and she's missing out on the small moments that matter most. Her heart aches as she watches her family, her husband, her children, become strangers in her own home. Lou feels like she's lost touch with what really matters. The life she's built feels less and less like the one she envisioned. She wonders if the work she's doing is truly fulfilling, or if it's just a way to avoid facing the things that really scare her. The tension between her career and her family is growing, and it's becoming harder to ignore. She's caught between the needs of Heartland and her responsibilities as a mayor. The future of the ranch, her family, and her own happiness are all on the line. Is she willing to sacrifice everything for the promise of a future that's still uncertain? Meanwhile, Jack, ever the rock of the family, is feeling the sharp sting of time catching up with him. He's sitting in his favorite chair on the porch, a cup of coffee in hand, looking at the familiar view that has always brought him comfort. But today, it's different. The weight of his years is heavy, and his mind drifts to the memories of Heartland's past. He's seen the ranch through countless storms, but now a new kind of storm is brewing, one that doesn't have easy answers. Jack's health has been slowly deteriorating, and though he's tried to ignore it, it's become impossible to hide. His once strong body feels frail, and his mind is clouded by the uncertainty of what comes next. Jack has always been the one who kept things together, the one who knew how to make tough decisions and hold the family steady. But now he wonders if he's losing his grip. His family needs him, but how can he continue to guide them when he's not sure he can keep going himself? It's a thought that terrifies him. What happens to Heartland when he's no longer the eye, one holding it all together? It's not a question he's ever wanted to ask, but now it lingers in his mind like an unwelcome shadow. Jack has always been strong, always been the one to protect and provide for the people he loves. But now, the tables have turned, and the ones who have always leaned on him are the same ones who will need to carry the weight when he can no longer do it himself. Amy, Lou, and Jack. 3 people, all at a crossroads, all facing their own battles, their own fears, and each of them is wondering the same thing. Can they find their way through the storm? Or will the very things that have always bound them together, family, love, and tradition, be the ones that tear them apart? This season, nothing is certain, and every choice will matter. As the wind picks up and the clouds gather, they each have to face the one truth they've been avoiding. Nothing at Heartland will ever be the same again. The storm is coming, and this time it's not just the weather. The skies above Heartland are growing darker, and the tension that's been building for months is about to explode. It starts with a simple conversation in the kitchen where Amy, Lou, and Jack sit together, trying to make sense of what's been happening. The calmness of the morning is long gone, replaced by an urgent sense that everything is slipping through their fingers. Amy is the first to speak, her voice a mix of frustration and desperation. "We're losing the ranch, Lou. I don't know how much longer I can keep this going," she says, the weight of her words sinking in like a stone in the silence that follows. She can see it now. Everything she's worked so hard to protect is on the verge of crumbling. The bills are piling up, the pressure from the bank is mounting, and despite her best efforts, Heartland is barely holding on. It's no longer just about horses or healing. It's about survival. Lou's response is sharp. She's always been the one who believed in a solution, who could find the way forward when everything seemed impossible. But this time, there's no clear answer. She spent so many late nights in the mayor's office trying to balance the town's needs with her own that she's lost sight of the bigger picture. "I can't do both, Amy," Lou says, her voice rising. "I can't fix the ranch and run the town. I don't know if I even know how to fix anything anymore." The words hang in the air, heavy with the weight of unspoken truth. Lou's career has been her escape, but now it feels more like a trap. Her family is slipping away, the ranch is slipping away, and the future she's tried so hard to build feels less and less like her own. She's standing at the edge of a precipice and the fall seems inevitable. In this moment, Lou is terrified. Not of failure, but of losing what really matters. She doesn't know who she is anymore. Jack watches the two women before him, the heart of the family. His hand trembles slightly as he picks up his cup of coffee, but he doesn't say a word. Jack has seen countless storms in his time, literal and metaphorical, but this one feels different. This time, the storm is inside the walls of Heartland itself. The family that has always been his strength is now the source of his greatest fear. How much longer can he stay strong when the ones he loves are struggling to keep their heads above water? As the conversation continues, it becomes clear. Something is going to break. The arguments escalate, each word cutting deeper than the last. Amy lashes out in frustration, Lou defends her choices, and Jack, the man who's always been the glue holding them together, feels powerless. For the first time in a long time, he doesn't have an answer, and that's terrifying. The heart of the family is fractured, and the ranch, this place that has always been their anchor, is teetering on the brink. But it's not just about the ranch anymore. It's about everything they've built, everything they've sacrificed, and the realization that sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you can't control what happens next. In this moment, Amy, Lou, and Jack are each forced to confront the fact that they can't save everything. The breaking point is upon them, and they are left with the impossible question: do they let go, or do they fight to the bitter end? Outside, the winds are picking up, a clear reflection of the storm inside the house. The first drops of rain begin to fall, gently at first, but quickly turning into a downpour. The storm is here, and there's no escaping it. The question is no longer about how to keep Heartland intact, it's about how to survive the changes that are already happening. The stakes have never been higher, and no one knows how this story will end. The storm rages on, not just outside, but inside Heartland itself. The house feels smaller now, as if the walls are closing in around the family. For days, the tension has been unbearable, the air thick with unspoken words and unresolved emotions. But as the storm begins to subside, there's a quiet stillness that settles over the ranch. A stillness that comes only after everything has been shaken to its core. Amy walks through the barn, the steady sound of hooves against the dirt floor, echoing in the silence. The ranch feels both familiar and alien now. It's the same place she's always known, but something has changed. The horses, the land, even the very air around her seems different, charged with a new energy. It's as if the storm has cleared the way for something new, something that has always been waiting to emerge, but she just couldn't see it before. She stops at one of the stables, resting her hand on the wooden beam, deep in thought. The pressure, the fear, and the uncertainty haven't gone away. But in this moment, Amy realizes something she hadn't before. She doesn't have to carry all of it alone. Heartland was never meant to be one person's burden. It was always about family, about supporting one another through the hard times. And though she feels lost, though she's uncertain about the future, there's one thing she's sure of now. Heartland is worth fighting for. It's not just a piece of land. It's home. And as long as there's breath in her body, she won't let it slip away. Meanwhile, Lou stands on the porch, looking out over the ranch as the last of the storm clouds drift away. The air is fresh, and the world feels like it's holding its breath. There's a sense of peace, a quiet moment before the next challenge. Lou feels the weight of her choices in her chest, choices she's made for the sake of her career, for the future of Heartland. But she's also beginning to see that she can't keep sacrificing her family for the future she thought she wanted. She doesn't have to choose between her family and her work. There's a middle ground, a place where she can be both the mayor and the mother, the leader and the daughter. It won't be easy, but nothing worth having ever is. Jack, too, has found his peace, though it's not in the way he expected. He's sitting by the fireplace, the warmth of the flames offering a comfort he hasn't felt in weeks. His body may be aging, his strength may be fading, but his spirit, his love for this land and this family, has never been clearer. He's no longer holding on out of fear, but out of love. The storm, the tension, the uncertainty. They've all been reminders that nothing lasts forever, but also that some things are built to endure. Heartland will endure. The family will endure. And as long as he can, Jack will continue to be the steady hand guiding them through. Together, the family begins to rebuild, not just the ranch, but themselves. It's not about fixing what's broken. It's about accepting the changes that are already here and finding a way to move forward together. The road ahead won't be easy. There will be more storms to weather, more decisions to make, and more sacrifices to come. But as the sun sets over Heartland, casting a warm glow over the land, there's a sense of hope in the air. It's the kind of hope that only comes when you realize that no matter how much the world changes, there are some things that remain unbreakable. In this new chapter, the Heartland family is not the same as it once was. They've been tested. They've been shaken to their core, but they are stronger for it. They've found their way back to each other, to the things that truly matter. And though the future may still be uncertain, they know one thing for sure. Heartland will always be home, and together they'll face whatever comes next. The dust settles. The storm that threatened to tear Heartland apart has passed, but its aftermath lingers in the air. The ranch, though scarred by the tension and the turmoil, stands strong, much like the family that calls it home. In the quiet that follows, there is a feeling of transformation, as if the world itself is shifting in small but powerful ways. It's as though Heartland has been given a second chance, and the people who walk its land must decide how they'll use it. Amy, standing once more in the barn, runs her hands over the wood of the stable. The familiar touch grounds her, and, for the first time in a long while, she feels a sense of calm. The fear of losing Heartland has not disappeared, but the path forward is clearer now. There's strength in her, strength she didn't know she had, forged from the fire of the storm. She's ready to rebuild, to take on the challenge not as a burden, but as an opportunity. The horses are still here, the land is still here, and most importantly, the family is still here. With Ty's return, Amy knows there's more to come. They have unfinished business, both in their personal lives and at Heartland. The ranch needs them both, and this time, Amy isn't standing alone. She's not the only one who carries the weight of the legacy. They all do. Together, they will find a way to make it work. The question is no longer about survival. It's about growth. It's about creating a future that honors everything Heartland has been, while embracing what it must become. Lou, having finally found clarity, walks the property with a sense of peace she's never known before. There's no easy fix, no simple answer to the struggle she's faced. But something inside her has changed. The political career she thought she needed isn't what she thought it was. The connection to Heartland, the place that raised her, the place that shaped her, has never been stronger. Lou's heart now pulls her back to where it all began. She's found the courage to step away from the pressures of politics, at least for now, and give her family what they need most: her presence, her support, and her heart. It's not that she's giving up on her dreams, but she's come to realize that true fulfillment doesn't come from titles or recognition. It comes from the people you love and the place that feels like home. Lou has found balance, something she thought she could never achieve. She doesn't have to choose between her career and her family. She can be both. And with that realization, the weight she's been carrying for so long begins to lift. Jack, meanwhile, has accepted that the passing of time is inevitable. But instead of fearing it, he embraces it. He knows his time as the patriarch of Heartland is winding down, and while it saddens him, he understands it's part of life's cycle. His family is growing, evolving, and with every passing day, he's more certain that they will continue on the path he helped pave. Heartland will thrive, not because of his strength alone, but because of the love and unity that binds the family together. Jack's role now is to pass on the wisdom he's collected over the years, to prepare the next generation for the challenges they'll face, and to trust that they will rise to the occasion. And as the sun sets on another day at Heartland, the land bathed in golden light, the family stands together, stronger than ever. There's no denying that the road ahead will be difficult, but in this moment, there is no fear, no more doubts. There is only the promise of a new beginning, a season of transformation that will shape the future of Heartland and the family forever. Looking ahead, the night has fallen, but Heartland feels alive in a way it hasn't in years. The stars hang high above, dotting the sky like 1,000 tiny promises, while the quiet hum of crickets and rustling leaves fills the air. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, the weight of uncertainty doesn't hang over the ranch. There is something different now, something that can't be ignored. The past has been hard, the present has been trying, but the future feels open, like a wide horizon, ready to be embraced. Amy stands outside the house, her gaze fixed on the horizon as if searching for something she can't quite name. There's a peace in her that wasn't there before, a quiet understanding that things are not only going to be okay, they're going to be better. She's learned that survival isn't just about holding on to what you have. It's about being brave enough to face what's coming. For so long, she fought against the unknown, desperate to preserve the old ways. But now she's ready to face the new, to build something that honors the past while looking forward to the future. She doesn't know what it will look like exactly, but she knows she's not alone in the journey anymore. With Ty back, with Lou at her side, with Jack's steady presence, she's ready to embrace whatever comes. The sound of a horse's hooves breaks her thoughts, and she turns to see Ty approaching. He's been through his own struggles, and their reunion was bittersweet. But now, as he rides towards her, there's no doubt in her mind. They're in this together. Whatever happens next, they will face it side by side, their bond stronger than ever. As Ty dismounts and walks toward her, Amy smiles. It's a quiet smile, but one that carries the weight of everything they've been through. Together, they've weathered storms, literal and emotional. And together, they will build a future. Lou, too, is standing outside, looking out at the vast expanse of Heartland. It's a different kind of night for her. The world feels more balanced now, and though there's work ahead, there's no longer the constant tug-of-war between her dreams and her family. The mayor's office, the hustle, the pressure, it's all still there, but now it's not the only thing. Her heart is grounded in Heartland, in the family she's always known was her true home. Lou knows that the road ahead won't be without its challenges, but for the first time in a long time, she's not afraid of them. She's ready to meet them head-on, armed with the lessons she's learned along the way. Jack, sitting on the porch, looks at his family with a sense of peace. His eyes, though tired, carry a wisdom that only years of living could bring. He knows the next chapter won't be easy. There will be hurdles, there will be loss, and there will be moments of doubt. But he also knows this. Heartland is in good hands. It always has been. His children and grandchildren have grown into people who understand the true meaning of family, the importance of perseverance, and the strength of love. And as long as they have each other, they will rise to any challenge that comes their way. The camera pulls back slowly, capturing the vastness of the ranch, its beauty, its history, and the promise of what's to come. The wind rustles the grass, the trees sway gently, and the stars shine brightly above, a constant reminder that life, like the land, continues to move forward, no matter what. This is the season that changes everything. Yes, but it's also the season that gives way to new beginnings. Change doesn't mean an end. It's simply a doorway to something else. And in this moment, the future feels not like an unknown, but a possibility. Heartland will always be a place of healing, of second chances, and of family. And as the night deepens and the ranch settles into the rhythm of another peaceful evening, one thing is certain. No matter what the world throws at them, they will face it, together. The first light of dawn begins to creep over the horizon, spilling its golden warmth across the land. Heartland stirs in its slumber, the horses grazing in the distance, the land untouched by the day's worries. But even in the stillness of the morning, something has changed. The world around them is waking up to a new day, and so too is the Heartland family. Amy, standing at the edge of the pasture, watches the sunrise with a quiet smile. There is something humbling about the way the light breaks through the darkness, like a promise that no matter how many storms come, the sun will rise again. She's no longer burdened by the fear of the unknown. She has learned to trust in the future, to know that no matter the challenges ahead, she will find a way through. She's ready for this new chapter, for the new season that awaits. The ranch is no longer just a place to hold on to. It's a place to build. And with Ty by her side, with the support of her family, she feels ready to face whatever comes. Lou, standing in the distance, watches Amy with a sense of admiration. The weight she once carried so heavily is now lighter. The choices she made, sacrifices, for a career and a life that didn't feel right, now seem like part of her growth. She is no longer a woman divided between two worlds. Lou has learned that sometimes you have to lose yourself to find your true path. Heartland is where she belongs, not just as a daughter, not just as a mother, but as a force that can shape the future of this place. Her confidence, once shaken, is now solid, and as she walks toward her family, the sunlight catching the edges of her hair, it feels like the first real step of her journey home. Jack, too, feels the shift. He's always been the one to lead, the one to steer the ship. But he's learned over the years that sometimes leadership means stepping back and trusting others to take the wheel. He watches his family from his chair on the porch, a quiet contentment in his eyes. They are ready. They are strong. And no matter what comes next, he knows they'll hold each other up. The torch has been passed, and he no longer fears what lies ahead. The legacy of Heartland will live on, not because of one man, but because of the love and strength of the family that carries it forward. The camera pulls away, rising high above the ranch to take in the full scope of the land, the hills, the trees, the rivers winding through the valley. This land has seen so much. It has witnessed victories and losses, birth and death, growth and decline. And yet, through it all, it endures. The land is more than just soil and grass. It is a living, breathing part of the Heartland family. And now, it waits for the next chapter to unfold. The screen fades to black, but not before the words appear. Heartland Season 19, the season that changes everything.